Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to the first part of the Last Campfire. I found this game on the eShop when I was browsing, and it looked pretty cool. I have played through this game a little bit, so it's a semi-blind. There are these journals that I wanted to find, and I don't know if I found them in the beginning, so that's why I restarted this one. So yeah, you'll get to see me do puzzles a little bit quicker, but all in all, it's a pretty cute game, and I've enjoyed the art style and the puzzles. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's go. I like little games like this, as I'm pretty sure YouTube knows because I've played a game called Brothers that was pretty fun, and Arise Simple Story. One will say that I have a soft spot for games like this. I'm going to put these two up, and then let's start a new game. Let's go. And we'll play on normal mode. Let's do this. Got little dudes in boats. But why are they in boats? That is the real question. One seems to be behind the others. What is this? Looks like that horn opened up something. Oh. Hey, a bird. Oh. And there goes the ore. Darn bird. Distracting my little guy. At least the one that I think I'm going to be controlling. Well, is that not ominous? We got trees covering the way. And a sad little dude.
There is a place where the lost embers go as their light begins to fade.
Interesting. All my friends.
Ember stood still, unable to face what was to come.
I also love that you can pull these little weeds, or not weeds, cobwebs. I'm liking it quite a bit.
The wall glistened. The painting showed embers on a sacred journey.
I restarted because there's these little journals that you can find, and I don't know if I found them all in the first place. So, and I'm assuming you can't go back. So yeah.
Ember felt so afraid and alone that it was a relief to find someone to talk to. Ember froze, almost too frightened to look away, when they noticed a small satchel.
Little dude. Stranger's satchel.
The satchel felt heavy. Ember looked inside. The statue shone brightly in the light. There was a symbol on the floor.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Ember noticed something wrong.
Yeah, the flame's not around.
There was a round space where something used to fit. To Ember's delight, the golden statue slid perfectly into place.
Yep. And our first puzzle.
Ember left, feeling sorry for the stranger now alone in the dark.
Oh, he's already dead. He's probably been there for a while.
The stairway opened into a dark forest. Ember could feel fear taking over. They'd washed up alone, somewhere very unfamiliar.
Yep. Unfamiliar indeed. I like it when games do this, where you can just go around. A bird.
Ember felt like they were being watched. The foxes howled into the night. The only reply was silence.
Yep.
The path was blocked.
Again, thank you, Captain Obvious.
A As Ember approached, the flame seemed to call out. With a feeling like falling, the forest had slipped away. Ember felt lost in darkness and ruin.
Now I love this problem solving. It's really nice.
The caged flame stoked new hope in Ember.
Down a little chain. These puzzles are gonna go a lot quicker since how I know a little bit of them. I don't know all of them, mind you.
Hope was almost within reach. The flame spoke and Ember listened. The flame lingered ahead. Was it trying to escape? Or leading the way?
Maybe a little bit of both.
The campfire flickered into life. The ghost spoke. Hope has returned to a forlorn.
Yep.
I will warm them until they choose to move on. Ember looked to the ghost for answers.
Where am I?
This is a place between places to travel through as your light fades. But none have passed on in a long time. The Forest King now holds us here, and those who linger will turn forlorn. Again, that word, forlorn.
Forlorn?
The forlorn are those who lost their way along the path. If you find them, send them to me and I will guide them.
Who are you?
I am just a guide along the way to fan the flame. So many lost embers have I seen, more than I could help. Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind.
I want to move on.
The Forest King watches the doors. The campfire will light the way. Find those who are lost. Bring embers to the fire.
Okay. I want to help the others.
There are others lost along their journey. Find them and I will guide them.
Help me.
Step backwards, little Ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn.
And what they mean is over there. Now, the game doesn't tell you how to get there, which I actually quite enjoy. So first we want to go over here. Again, this is a semi-blind until I get to the part where it is blind. How many? Okay, so there's 2 here.
The crow held its shining trophy tight. The broken net hung ominously around the skeleton's neck.
And we got a broken fishing net. And a person to help.
The stranger shivered in the cold. They'd moved through such dark places.
I do like these puzzles, even though I've already done them.
They lay down and closed their eyes.
Forgot this part.
Warmth was a distant memory, stolen by the passing miles. The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep?
And when you talk to them again, they just say the same thing. Saves you a little bit of time. And as you can see, the more and more you do, the more little guys show up to the flame.
Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me. The stranger whispered, "Ever feel like you are being watched?" "I've never felt that," What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice.
I guess. I guess it could feel nice. Doesn't seem like it would be, but... Now this one you're supposed to cover the holes that could possibly go into or come out. So you do that and it has nowhere else to go.
The worm looked helpless, with no way to escape. As Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp.
Worm. I wonder where these little guys are. Like they call them embers, but I just, yeah. So there's a little book. I think there's a little book in there which I can't get to yet, or maybe there is a little book somewhere else. I don't remember. Okay, it has to be in there, which I can't get in there right now. But yeah, you want to go into here first. That way you can practically get everything in here first go around. Because we have this over here. Now, there's a lot of these little guys, and you have to save all of them. I didn't know that you had to save all of them the first time. Now I do, so that's good to know. And I'm assuming that these journals can be missed, so you don't want to miss these. I don't know what you get for 100%ing, because there's one right there, which you wouldn't be able to get unless you hit this switch. And then we go through here. Down here.
The traveler spoke. You ever had roast frog, friend? I miss a good roast frog. Oh, how they crackle.
Go, okay.
The stranger had been forgotten.
This one's pretty easy.
They tried to follow as best they could. But no one heard them when they fell behind.
And then what you want to do is that you want to put the statue here. This one, that way that one does not move, and then we do that. Pretty easy little puzzle. They're not all easy, mind you. Some of them you have to use your brain, and, well, I did have trouble on some of these, to be sure.
The stranger looked at Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you.
You're very much welcome. Come here in this place. Seems like there's none in this place. At least through here anyways. There's none in here.
The traveler said, "You sailed in here. Where's your boat?" "Friend, you need a boat. Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back."
Oh, they're in the cave, huh? Is there a way to where I can get up here? No.
The stranger had blazed their own path, created their own rock, their own islands. They did not need Ember's kindness. But still, Ember stayed. Building a bridge should it ever be needed.
Seems a little bit ungrateful, but okay.
The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence.
A moment of silence. I gotta say, this game is definitely a very, very cute little game. Then we got this little statue here. You can put this up. Cave of Solitude.
The stranger was trapped, caught in a maze. It was hard to make sense of this place.
This one took me a little bit to figure out. So, this one you want to put one on top of the other, like I'm gonna be doing. Like so. And somehow this little guy can pull two of them across. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but I guess it doesn't have to. And what we do is that we push
The
them.
trail just kept on closing.
Interesting puzzle mechanics for sure.
The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly.
Take as much time as you need. We're here to help.
The Ember was curious. Where did you wake up? I'm headed for the crossroads. It's not far, I think. I've heard there's a nest there. A safe place.
Wouldn't know.
The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow. Sitting out there every day by the pond. Only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with a frog. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder. For a brief moment, the fisherman struggled to speak. He looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. There's a frog in that pond, a big one. Saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of a sort. Spent every day side by side.
Tell me more.
So much better at fishing than me, that frog is. Catches them before I can bait them. Oh, it makes me feel useless some days. The fisherman sighed. I've wasted so much time feeling like this. The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their rod, at Ember. Well, listen to me here, rambling on and on. It helps, though, telling someone. Thank you, Ember. If you need help catching anything, you just ask.
All right. About the frog.
You saw the frog? Did the frog mention me? You ask the frog about me, see what they say. Actually, no, just... Please don't tell the frog how much I talk about them.
Huh. About your bait.
Poor little worms. They didn't ask to be here. But how do you fish without them? One for me, one for the fishes. Slurp 'em down.
About the fish.
They say catching a fish isn't the point. So I tell myself that. I tell myself that a lot.
About your hat.
I chased old Blue Betty round this pond for years. Best days of my life catching that fish. Had to use myself as bait. Stuck on me head ever since.
I need some help.
The fisherman noticed the broken net Ember was carrying. Let me have a look. See what I can do. With a silk thread, the fisherman carefully knotted it together. With each knot he tied, a net began to form. Here you go. Good as new.
Nice. Now you might be wondering, why did we need to do that? Well, we'll get to that.
The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling.
Show item. Worm.
This was not how Ember had imagined the end. The gurgling of water, a deafening heartbeat. But then... the frog returned Ember's good deed by leading them to a lost forlorn.
Interesting.
The stranger stood alone. Their friends have fallen aside, retreating from what came next. The stranger had ventured on, Now they were deep in the woods. It felt so pointless.
And puzzle done. This one didn't take me too long. The first time I did it as well. Especially after that one before. For the fisherman. That one took me a while. So I learned to look at the puzzles a little bit better.
The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there. The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice.
Okay, that's the only one there. I think I did pretty good, but, you know. Yeah. Can't be too careful.
The stranger spoke. You look hungry, friend. You bring any broth with you? There's a cook in the swamp. Makes a broth like you wouldn't believe. Keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more.
We got one more left. There's a red guy. Darn bird.
The key was nestled between the reeds, but it was just out of reach.
And that's why we have the fishing net. Gate key.
The old gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The stranger gasped for breath. Dark water slipping above their head. didn't care if they sank or swam. Slowly the tides ebbed, washing over old walls. A safe harbor emerging from the inky depths.
All this makes me want to do is play Wavetail. Which I will be getting back to, for sure.
Ember reached out a hand. The stranger looked down. The ground feels good beneath my feet, friend.
Yeah, I bet it does. So there is something here.
Ember found the Wanderer's diary. The oily smell of frogs. They know more than they will say. They watch me watching them.
Yep.
The stranger whispered. Ever feel like you are being watched? I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice.
I mean, do you mean the little guy on top of the hill here? Because, I don't know, it kind of feels a little bit creepy. It looks like we got all the diary entries here. Not bad.
The ghost said, "You have done all you can, little one. Your journey lies ahead." Little one, your journey ahead will not be easy. The path to leave this place is blocked. I will guide others to follow after you clear the way.
How did it get blocked in the first place? That's what I want to know.
There are others like me who can help. You will always be welcome here in the forest. With tears, the stranger said, "I had forgotten what warmth feels like." The stranger spoke. "My head feels clear for the first time." The stranger said, "Thank you for being so kind."
You are welcome.
stranger said thoughtfully. I felt so alone. I was so lost. The stranger whispered, "Be kind to yourself." The stranger said, "Take care of those you care about the most." The stranger thought, "I feel ready to move on."
Good. Let's go.
Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching.
I wonder why. There's a diary here. So you know.
Ember uncovered a journal entry. Dusk brings the longest shadows. The lanthorn comforts me. Soft melodies from home. The wild things listen, yellow eyes in greying trees.
Hmm.
Ember approached the forlorn, but felt it was different. They said, "I know what I need to do, what I need to feel. I don't want to be helped." Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved.
Hmm. But I want to solve your puzzle. Aw. Fine. Crossroad.
The crossroads gate was locked.
Hmm. Interesting.
The two travelers were talking quietly. "Yeah, I got so lost in the marsh, you know. Why go anywhere else if it's safe here? Yeah, never having to worry again. The birds scare me though."
Hmm.
"Do you know where we are? I've been walking forever, lost in the marsh."
You're in the crossroads.
The guard joked. "Another scrawny Ember from the forest. And with a bag looking all nicely and shiny." Both guards started looking at Ember with a deathly stare. The guard leered. "The Forest King would like you, little scruff. Yes, come a little closer. Let us see what's in that bag."
Who are you?
"We guard the door to the Forest King." "Oh yes, We decide who gets to see the king.
The Forest King?
The Forest King will want to see you. Yes, yes, come this way.
Okay.
A feeling of foreboding overcame Ember. Ember was terrified but tried not to show it.
I can kind of see why.
The giant bird spoke softly. Another little Ember. Speak, little one. Do not fear. The bird is a friend. Ember wanted to feel safe.
Don't hurt me.
Oh, little Ember, birds won't hurt you. Birds will take another under our wing. Stay safe in the nest, you'll never turn forlorn. Ember was still afraid.
I'm scared.
Is it the night that scares you, little one? See, night is gone. Day is here. Birds will make the world less frightening. It wasn't only the night that frightened Ember.
I want to move on.
The bird grew frustrated. Do not become like other embers, trying and failing and turning forlorn. Birds will protect you from false hope. The Forest King spoke so gently to Ember. Perhaps they could rest here for a while. It was hard to know what else to say.
I'll stay.
Clever little Ember. You will stay. You will not turn forlorn. Search for hope no more. Now take this feather.
Red feather.
Feather means Ember is one of us now. Birds keep little ones safe. Birds should never leave the nest. The guards seem pleased. Clever Scruff sticking with us. I can hold that bag for you. Leave them alone, they're one of us now. Yeah, one of us. And we all shares bags and things.
Nah, I'm good. Oh.
The stranger wanted Ember's attention, being careful not to speak too loudly. You should get away from here while you still can. You can't trust the birds.
Okay.
I've heard there's another campfire in the marsh. Well, that's where I'm going if I can find a way down.
Interesting.
The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come any closer.
What's down there?
Nothing down there but sadness and turning forlorn. Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight.
Show feather.
Got your first feather, I see. Best prove yourself, Scruff. Stand watch here. Promise you won't let anyone pass. Ember didn't like deceiving the birds. But what choice did they have? They couldn't rest in that place forever. They had to keep going.
Yep. Onward.
Hidden away was a scrap of journal. There were memories here, bound in rock. I hear their voices echo in the ancient stone. I find footprints by the cinders, a makeshift camp.
Some of these can definitely be hidden pretty well. It would appear. But yeah, we have 2 of them.
This forlorn was not the same as the others. The forlorn whispered softly, I know what I need, but I am not ready. I may never be ready. The future is yours, stranger, but mine is mine. Ember left the forlorn with their thoughts.
Okay.
The time wasn't right, perhaps would never be.
Okay. So I guess we can't save everyone.
Ember hurried away from the birds. The mist hung close to Ember, hiding them. The Forest King seemed frightened, the birds cruel. Ember would rather risk turning forlorn than become like them. Ahead there would be others to help, and maybe a way to move on.
Maybe.
Ember found a scrap of journal. I heard them coming. The snap of a twig, a flutter of birds. A figure dashing through the undergrowth. Another like me?
Maybe.
The traveler seemed distressed. I'm sure it's fine. They'll be okay. But it's been a while since... It's my fault.
Into the mist we go. We must find all the forlorn.
The traveler whispered quietly. No matter where I go, I always end up here. No matter where I go, always here.
The map.
It looked like a map, but pieces were missing. The piece formed a new route. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Another face at last. A catcher of fish resting by a pond. We work together, silk and tar and aching fingers. My boat floats once more, though I almost wish to stay. It was the same place as before. But how? In a haze, they said, "You're just like me now, going round and round and round and never escaping."
Never.
An eerie scene, like a moment frozen in time. Inside was a secret diary entry. Pink, orange, red, brown, leaves gently dancing to the ground. Crunch, crackle, lovely sound, fall into a giant mound.
All right. And that person left. The map. Again.
Gradually, more of the map was revealed.
There's one here somewhere.
A section of bridge had somehow been ripped from its foundations.
Which is up there. There's none in here.
It was like the map had been broken on purpose.
Yeah, it does definitely seem that way. But why? Is a real question.
A lost message was inside. The mist is thick. One way blurs into another. Where do I end? Where does the world begin? I cannot see far enough to tell.
And then what we do is that we go and make our way a little bit better. And there is 2 here.
The mist revealed a secret place. Was it hidden on purpose?
Maybe. Only one way to figure out. And that's to keep on playing.
The stranger spoke. You know, part of me didn't want to be found. I said some things I shouldn't have. And now I'm lost. And it's too late.
Could have always apologized, but you know, I guess that's not an option. Not anymore, at least. And we have one here. Now this one's pretty easy of getting all of them. Because it pretty much shows you where all of them could be. Or where they all are.
The skeleton looked peaceful. Held tightly in its hand was a red feather.
And we got a lent horn.
The statue spoke, just as it once moved the hearts of the forlorn. The instrument you now hold has the power to move the world around you. Another before you took great effort to hide it deep within this riddle. The lanthorn began to glow.
Lanthorn, okay.
Ember found a secret note from the Wanderer. Something beckons. This place is not home. I trace the map in my head, recite the older myths. I have to move on.
And then, as you'll notice, we can do this.
Ember found a lost message. The smell of hot broth and hearty stew wafts across the swamp. By the cook's pot I meet another. They are on their own path, but we promise to meet again.
Nice. Alright, now time to go and grab all the little goodies.
There was one last place to reach on the map.
I beg to differ. Okay, sorry, I got that one.
Inside was a scrap of journal. In the orchard, I meet the stranger from the cook's fire, a stranger no longer. Together we fill their satchel, food and memories for the road ahead.
The map. Hmm. All there. And there's one missing here, right? No. One missing over here. Yep.
The Wanderer's Diary. An ancient throne sits empty. No one remains to guide or protect, but we do not mind. My companion shelters with me now. We cannot help those left behind.
So, all in all, I've been getting all of them apparently. But still, it's always good to double check.
Ember felt a great relief to be out of the mist. The way through was ruined.
Yep.
Muffled by the fog, Ember was sure they heard a rumble. Could that have been a tremendous snow?
Hmm. Now we can grab this. You can clearly grab it off the wall.
Ember didn't mind getting muddy. The slide was such fun. the fruit was giving off a sickly sweet smell. A sleeping pig, trotters in the air. They looked happy. The plant looked like it could take a hand off. And it was in Ember's way. Ember chuckled. The dangerous plant was no match for a hungry piggy.
Hungry Picky wins all the time. There's quite a few here.
A hideous odor filled the air.
There's 4 of them here.
And suddenly, the reason was obvious. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. We stop by the warmth of another campfire. The guardian spirit provokes us, asks what we hope to resolve. I do not understand the question. My companion is silent.
I guess they don't realize that they're dead. That's what I'm assuming anyways.
The pig inhaled a giant snort of air. Wait, what's that delicious smell? Ember shuffled nervously. Other embers fed me treats, but then stopped. You feed me now. As the pig chewed, a light grew in its belly. Surprising, a little sparky, but tingly in belly. But what I want is something more fruity.
Okay.
The pig would eat anything. Ember just needed to find more. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Snorty piggy, simple piggy, so easily teased with fruit. They are no help until they are fed. A few grow fat, wobbling on their trotters. And with each thing it ate, the light grew even brighter. Fruity, fresh, but tastes a lot like mud. But what I want is something with more crunch. Perhaps if Ember could satisfy the pig, they might be more helpful.
Possibly. This seems like
The skull was disgusting. Perhaps the pig would like it.
perhaps.
This was the last thing Ember could find to offer. Crunchy, embery, not much meat, bit too bony. But what I want is... The pig's stomach made an almighty sound. Ember chuckled with relief at the large creature they had been so afraid of. The pig had vanished, but something moved beneath the surface. In a muddy pond, Ember thought the pig looked a lot less imposing. The pig shouted joyously. The water feels so good on the skin. Join me, morsel. The pig seemed happy, but Ember wasn't getting too close. Why do I consume whatever people put in front of me? I need some true nourishment, but there's none left here. But so much cooler in this muddy pond, I can finally think. Thank you, morsel.
Nice. All right.
Ember came upon another campfire lost in the wilderness. It looked long cold, but ready to be lit.
Let's light it.
The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen."
Where am I?
This is the Hollow Marsh. Here hope was consumed before it could flourish. You must not lose hope, or you too will turn forlorn. Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind.
I want to move on.
The Forest King watches the doors. The campfire will light the way. Find those who are lost. Bring embers to the fire.
I want to help the others.
There are others lost along their journey. Find them and I will guide them.
Help me.
Down steps to your east, travel the path south, watching a pig grow unhappy, a forlorn lost hope.
Interesting. But with that, I think we're gonna call this a part, and yeah, we'll continue this in the next one. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later. This was a good one. Thanks for watching.